I am here on Giant Steps with Martin Wurin, a.k.a. Bear Garden, the extremely talented Swedish saxophonist and composer who has just released his brilliant second album, Sunshine Fruit. So, hello, Martin.
Hi.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's a gloomy day in Stockholm, which is nice.
Quite cool that we're doing a Zoom call all the way to Sweden right now.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
a first on the show. But straight into the album then. It is a very uplifting, joyous album. Sort of definitely a record we need right now in lockdown. But so was it always an intention of yours to set out to make such a positive record?
yeah. I could say my first record is kind of dark and a bit harder, but I really wanted to do, and I've been wanting it for a long time to do a more joyful album, a more simplistic album, like simple melodies with big arrangements and yeah, just a bunch of really uplifting songs. And it just felt like the perfect timing with this pandemic, and I think people need it. I need it for myself as well. My mission was to make a really like super positive record.
I think you definitely achieved that. It's definitely a good escape from the lockdown at the moment. But the record title, Sunshine Fruit, obviously comes from a track on the album. But where did the title come from in the first place?
I thought of a lot of different names, but it just felt like the record is so positive, so it always felt like sunshine and happiness, sunshine. And then I thought of like sunshine fruit, why not? And then I checked up the name sunshine fruit, and there's almost nothing that has that name, which really I did not expect. But then it grew on me, the name sunshine fruit, and you kind of just the album felt like sunshine fruit in a way. So it's not a like super deep explanation for the just that name, but yeah.
It definitely sort of captures the glow combined with sort of the album cover with the sort of the bright yellow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But sort of to stick with the sort of the theme of names, where did actually the idea come from for Bear Garden, sort of originally?
Yeah, Bear Garden is for me the funny thing about the bear is it could both be a fuzzy teddy bear and also this brutal animal. And I kind of wanted something that would go along with the music. Like it can be unpredictable, it can be aggressive, but it can also be this joyful, cute little thing as well. So they're of the name of the bear, but also Bear Garden is a it's like a sort of ancient gladiator arena outside of London in the 16th century. They had where they would have animals fight each other, mostly bears.
Oh
You,
wow.
you should check that out. Yeah, yeah. So they're of Bear Garden. This so it's taken from this ancient gladiator arena outside of London.
Oh, that's very interesting. And I saw you used to have like the fluffy sort of bear head. Is that still a feature? Do you still get that out sometimes?
In the music video for New Kid, the third track on the album, we actually features the bear again, which is really fun. Yeah.
Is it ever possible to play your saxophone through it, or is that not?
Hasn't been an option yet. One day, I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe.
maybe in a live gig one day you'll play a
Yeah,
song through the
yeah.
mask. But to travel back a bit, sort of in time a bit, how did you sort of first introduced to the saxophone as an instrument?
I started up really early in school. Was about 9 years old, somewhere there. And I started in the like the school system we have here in Sweden. Started to play, and I early on like realized that I had some talent on the instrument. So I really enjoyed practicing and enjoyed rehearsing and playing with friends and my teacher. Uh, but I never had any like greater vision until I was 12 years, I think, when I heard John Coltrane's Blue Train. Uh, Yeah,
Great
and when I
record.
heard that song Blue Train, it was like that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. It had that impact on me. Uh, so yeah, I've been doing this ever since I heard that album.
I read you moved to Stockholm to attend. Was it the Royal College of Music?
Yeah,
Obviously, Stockholm is sort of known within the sort of the jazz community as having quite a famous jazz festival, sort of one of the oldest, biggest events in
yeah,
Sweden. But is there a community sort of within Stockholm that allows you to collaborate with other musicians quite frequently?
yeah. We have a lot of great musicians here in Sweden. Many that aren't really publicly known, but there's a lot of great musicians actually. Uh, so it's really the potential is really there. And as you said, Stockholm Festival is a huge festival here in Sweden. We have a lot of stages also, like jazz clubs and concert halls and many festivals all around the country as well. So there is a lot of jazz in Sweden, and I think it's growing as well, especially with the musicians from Great Britain as well. There's so many great ones there.
And did you handpick the artists that were on this record? Did you pick them from these sort of communities in Sweden?
Yeah, most of them are really good friends of mine. We've been playing for a really long time, and some of them I took in for especially for this project. So I have like my go-to names, which I always like uh, need for the job. But on some tracks like Sunshine Fruit and Electric Butterfly, I heard like I want this really high pitched clarinet also about. So I took in a really famous clarinet player in Sweden, saxophone and clarinet player Per Johansson. So he's featured on those tracks.
And two of the influences you cited for this album that quite interested me were Motown and the contemporary Icelandic music scene. So sort of not necessarily a combination that people have heard before, but what in particular from these two sort of influences do you appreciate most?
I really enjoy both scenes. Like I think the album is the first intention of the album was to get a real like positive Motown-ish feeling of the songs, but also like use melodic structures and sounds from bands like Sigur Rós and like Björk and
Mm.
these different kind of to make it more unique and not just make a like some sort of Motown tribute ish, but to kind of get my own feeling of it, if it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely got that sort of that energy from the Motown. You can definitely hear.
Yeah, and some of the more ambient songs like Invisible Wave and Catching My Friend is really like inspired Icelandic artists.
Obviously, releasing an album during lockdown right now is not ideal. But is
No.
there anything sort of plans you have for the rest of the year? I saw that you're doing a live stream on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're doing a concert this Wednesday. That has been a like ongoing discussion whether we should release it now or not. But I couldn't wait too long. Like I needed to release it, and then we'll like push it on all the digital platforms and make videos and do that. And when all of this is over, then hopefully we'll like go out and tour.
Will you be able to come to England one day to tour, do you reckon?
I hope so. Really hope so.
I think there would be a big audience waiting.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
A question I always like to ask guests on this show, quite a standard sort of jazz question, but it's if you had to sort of recommend one track to introduce someone to the world of jazz, what would it be?
I would probably say John Coltrane's Blue Train. Uh, if you want like the classic jazz feeling, that record, actually that track is outstanding, and the performance is out of this world in so many ways.
Well, we'll definitely play that track a bit later on as well. John Coltrane is a constant feature on this show, as you may guess from the title. But
Yeah, Giant Steps, also a great one.
definitely. But yeah, Blue Train is another classic. But
Yeah,
a more modern classic, perhaps you could say, on your record, Electric Butterfly, is one of my favorite tracks on the album, and I'm going to be playing that shortly on the show as well. And you talked a little bit about how you particularly wanted that high clarinet sound on this
yeah.
track, but how did this sort of song come about, sort of through that?
I really wanted to make a super simplistic song, like really joyful, really. It's kind of a combination of like Swedish pop and jazz in a way. So combine that sound with this big horn section, and you have this steady melody going all the time, but it's so much going around it. But I really wanted to complement the featured melody. But I think it's just a joyful song that a lot of people really appreciate, which makes me happy.
It's definitely a great highlight from the album, and a good summary of the energy and the sunshine that is on the record.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show and talking to me.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
For everyone out there, Bear Garden's new album, Sunshine Fruit, is out now. It is a brilliant record. Go check it out. But for now, here is one of the many great tracks from it. This is Bear Garden with Electric Butterfly.